was a little over a year ago, June 19, 2014. Brian Candace, who was Alex Lindley here, his best friend, hung himself.
This is so
I'm sorry to have to say
this is just horrible. And you know, there's a lot of young people. We have a friend who in his neighborhood, 2 young girls in the like early adult
in that age group.
Also
and
killed themselves.
It's very common, and that is why Alex is here today. Alex and his friends at University of Missouri in Columbia, Mizzou, had 2 friends, Carol and Noel, who also committed suicide in 2012
from
the same
St.
way.
Louis.
St. Louis. Same,
Where
same
did you
group of
guys? Did you
friends.
go to high school together?
Ryan and I went to high school together. We went to DeSmet.
Okay.
Carolyn went to Coriezu, another private school here. But we all grew up together. So it's a strange turn of events, really.
And the biggest thing that is so awful to hear is that you had no clue that these people were at that point in their lives.
Right.
And why do you think now you're making a documentary? Are you going to try to look into that and see how that could have happened?
Well, I wouldn't say that we're going to investigate sort of how it went down, but a big part of what we're doing is trying to eradicate the stigma surrounding mental health and suicide. I think that the stigma surrounding mental health and suicide keeps people from reaching out.
Yes.
Especially in college.
Right.
Alex, what amazes me in watching what you have so far in the documentary, and we're watching parts of it now, in the open when you're jogging and you come out of your house, you live in a middle-class neighborhood. You're not wealthy and pouring money into a documentary, but you're doing such an amazing professional job at this, and you can see the passion in each of you on camera, and you're just capturing something that is so important that you're doing this. But how are you raising the money to do it?
Well, we initially, when we came together, we created sort of a short little PSA promotional video where the 20 or so of us involved got together and read some lines, and we threw that up on YouTube and created a crowdfunding campaign on GoFundMe, if you're familiar with that. Mm-hmm. And we just basically relied on our Facebook friends. It was shared over 4,000 times. We raised 10 grand in one day.
Wow.
We plateaued around 30, and that's where we were able to hire Nate Townsend, who's incredibly talented. And
is Nate directing it?
Nate's directing it.
Okay.
Nate's a St. Louisan as well. He took home Best Director at the Filmmaker Showcase.
We just brought this in to show you that.
As a matter of fact, he's incredibly talented, and he shares the same passion that we have, except maybe not as experiential as the passion we have, but he has done a great job. So now, we've started another crowdfunding campaign that's trickling in.
And that's on Indiegogo.
That's on Indiegogo.
Right.
But we are far away from our goal. But we're going to rely on grants and bigger donations. And that's basically what I'm devoting my time to this summer, is to reach out and try to achieve those.
However, if somebody in St. Louis watching this wants to donate and be a part of it, they can.
Absolutely. They just have to visit our website, which is projectwakeup.org, and there will be a giant button that says donate right in the middle of their screen that they could graciously donate. We would absolutely appreciate anything.
You also started an organization called Missouri Suicide Prevention Coalition.
Yes.
With your friends.
With our friends.
And how can you do anything about preventing it if you don't even know it's happening?
Well, I think that it's actually very prevalent on college campuses. It's become the second highest injury-related killer in kids 18 to 24.
Yes.
Which is it's alarming. Truly, it's so preposterous that it's so stigmatized and not talked about enough, and people kind of cringe and don't really want to talk about the topic. But if it's killing this many people, I think it's just horrible that it isn't talked about.
What is your organization doing? Are you meeting with students and trying to bring this out in the open and get them to talk about it, hoping to reach some people?
That is our goal. It's piggybacking off the documentary perfectly. If you noticed in the short, there was a training session called Respond Training, and it's about a basic training, 8 hours, where students take a hands-on approach, and it's very cool. And they learn how to recognize suicidal warning signs in their friends and how to approach people if they have these sort of signs. it's like you said, it's hard because it's something that doesn't really have a face. But I think our documentary kind of proves if you knew who Ryan was as a person, and I think we can kind of capture that in the documentary.
Yeah.
He was, the last person you would expect.
See, and now that you know these things, and looking back, do you think you were his best friend?
Yeah.
Do you think they were there and you just didn't know them, or it was still not there enough?
That's hard to say. There's certainly some signs in hindsight, but it's hard to say. It's such a confusing topic and such an impulsive decision. It's a decision made where someone at our age does not see the future. They don't see that life gets better.
Yes.
They're seeing very short term, and when you're having these battles in your head, you're not thinking about much else than fix this problem.
Right.
Fix this problem. So hard to say, but what we're hoping to do is to start the conversation, because that is lacking. And we already have started the conversation around campus. It's beautiful to see that people are openly discussing their struggles with anxiety and depression and opening up. And that's the first step, because when you eliminate that stigma, there are a certain demographic of people who will be willing to go reach out for help if they aren't going to feel crazy or weird by getting that help.
Right, or looked down on. Like
Exactly.
when we were your age, we had a friend who killed himself, and it was because he had allergies. And back then, people looked at allergies like, "Oh, stop sneezing, get over it." And and it was really seriously depressing him. It was in a terrible
and we look
were
back
shocked.
and wonder, what
Yes.
signs did we miss? The most touching part of the documentary, the short that you have so far, is when each of you, in a sequence, were saying, "He was my best friend."
Yeah.
Best friend. We were best friends. And how lucky was Ryan to have so many best friends, and to have you guys do what you're doing for him now and for others who may go through what he went through. And thank you for doing that, Alex.
I appreciate that. I mean, it was a testament of who he was. And that was only maybe half of the people who said he was his best friend.
Yeah.
Everyone was Ryan's best friend.
But he was your best friend.
He was my best friend.
They think so, but you know.
I know so.
It is projectwakeup.org. Go there. From there, you can go to the Indiegogo, learn more about it, and you can see the film that's up there right now if you want to see it. Thank you very much, Alex.
Thank you guys so much for having me. I really appreciate it.
And today's segment is made possible through the generosity of Dr. Matt Bays, MD, with Blue Tail Medical Group here in St. Louis. They specialize in regenerative non-surgical therapies. Request an appointment online at bluetailmedicalgroup.com.